moment the crisis begins.
Pokemon Ranger, I choose you!
What's up everybody, it's your Pokemon Ranger Boy here, and like always, welcome to another review of the Pokemon X, Y, and Z anime. Today it's getting really dark with episode 26, Rival Showdown, Ashe vs Shota. In today's episode we can definitely see the crisis coming when it comes to Ashe and Greninja, and we also will see that depending on one thing alone isn't always a good thing. So that's why let's get right into the review! We are getting right into some Pokemon battle action with a battle between Ashe's Greninja and another trainer Scizor, and needless to say, Greninja absolutely destroyed Scizor without even a scratch. That's what I call OP. And speaking of OP, after the battle one of Ashe's main rivals arrives, Shota. And he's really overpowered because not only does he has a really strong team, but he also already achieved 8 badges quicker than Ashe. Well, that might be because he doesn't have to fight against evil teams, and he also doesn't have any friends. And we all know that Ashe had to delay his 8th gym battle for Serena's masterclass. Poor friendless Shota. But who needs friends if you got badges and strong Pokemon, right? Impressed by Shota's huge development, Ashe and the others then are talking about their latest encounter with another strong opponent, Dianta, and how Ashe's Greninja even evolved further during the battle. After that, Ashe spontaneously decides to have a battle with Shota, and of course, as a rival, Shota can't say no. But before we are getting right into some action again, we are witnessing something strange going on outside of the main place of focus, because a lot of townsmen and Officer Jenny have come together to find out what is actually going on. But before they could realize what is actually happening, some Pokemon are panically trying to escape from gigantic roots chasing behind them. And as we all know by now, this is of course the result of Team Flare's experiments with the Zygarde cells, deforming the land. And during the process we are seeing a confident Lysandre smiling at the blue Zygarde core. Of course, Puni-chan has realized this trouble as well and is of course really worried about his companion. But as worried Puni-chan is about this situation, so is Bonnie about Puni-chan. So that's why she tries to cheer it up with a nice song. Speaking of worries, in this today's episode I really was worried about our hero Ashe, because it somehow seems to me that he wasn't really himself at some point during the battle. Of course, I have to give props to Shota as well, since he really improved immensely, and he definitely has earned his right to call himself a rival of Ashe. But you know guys, Ashe really was different when it comes to his usual self and his battle mentality. The battle starts with Noivern vs Shota's new evolved Pokemon Doublade, and also like always with Ashe dominating his opponents with his unpredictable strategies. Because even with this huge type disadvantage, Ashe managed to win against Doublade with a powerful Dragon Claw? Wait, when did Noivern learn Dragon Claw? Well, it doesn't matter I guess. After that we're witnessing a new Pokemon of Shota, which is Clawitzer, and that thing is so strong. It defeated Noivern with a Dragon Pulse and not only outspeeded Hawlucha, but also defeated it with an Ice Beam. So Ashe has one Pokemon left, and that Pokemon is of course Greninja, and it takes out Clawitzer in an instant. So the final battle comes down to the rivalry between Greninja and Sceptile, and here comes the problems which I mentioned at the beginning, because in my opinion it was due to Shota developing so much and Ashe depending so much on Ashe Greninja that Ashe in the end couldn't concentrate enough to pull off this power, and that's why he lost. Due to Ashe's insecurity, Greninja couldn't land a single good blow on Sceptile, and because Shota and Sceptile were more determined, they got their very first win against Ashe, which makes both Shota and Sceptile really happy. And of course not only the battle passer on Ashe's arm, but also Pikachu, his longtime buddy, has realized that insecurity of Ashe. And although Ashe tells Pikachu that there's no need to worry, Pikachu still is concerned. But Ashe just wipes that off and immediately decides to aim for the 8th gym badge. And together with Shota, they are about to arrive at Snowbell City. So that's the end guys, and without any hesitation, let's go straight into the rating. What can I say about the story? The story was really obvious because of course, Ashe can't win over and over again, and he had to lose at some point. I was really happy for Shota's first win, and in my opinion he really deserves it. I also have to give props that there was no Team Rocket, that they really have concentrated on the crisis, which definitely begins, of course, connected with the inner battle of Ashe when it comes to Ashe Greninja. But not only Ashe is really concerned, but also his Pokemon as well, because during the battle, Greninja even realized that Ashe is somehow different, and also, of course, Pikachu has realized that. I love that. I have to cut off some points because I really felt that the episode was really fast paced, and don't get me wrong guys, I love the Team Flare arc, I really love it. But in my opinion, they just put in Team Flare there to fill the episode, and maybe that's why it felt so fast paced, because in my opinion, they could easily have cut off Team Flare and concentrated more on Ash's crisis, and maybe just dedicate another full episode for Team Flare, like for example when we did it with the Team Flare vs Team Rocket. I really like that, and maybe it would have been better. So that's why I will give the story a 8 out of 10. What can I say about the focus? The focus was of course the showdown between Ashe and Shota, and the showdown of course was definitely there. Shota got a huge development, which I really liked, and you can see how much he grew. But the showdown was a little bit disappointing since Ashe didn't fight with his full power and instead with more inner conflicts during the battle. He was so intimidated by Shota's potential and also depended too much on Ashe Greninja. And maybe because of the last episode, which was so epic, maybe that's why I was also a little bit disappointed. And because of all that, because of Shota's potential and Ashe depending too much on Ashe Greninja, the result of the showdown was just way too obvious. That's why I really didn't like the showdown at all, and I have to give the showdown a 7 out of 10. What can I say about the animation? The animation was pretty good, but the main problem with the animation today is that they really focused the animation more on the inner crisis of Ashe instead of the battle itself, which I can understand why they did that, but still we know that they can do better. We have seen so many beautiful animated battles, but to animate the battles less well and focusing the animation only on the inner conflicts of Ashe was in my opinion not the right thing to do. Because of that, 8 out of 10. So in the end, this episode scores a 7.66 out of 10, and in my opinion, really disappointing considering the fact that this episode is actually a main episode, an episode which concentrates on Ashe and the main story, and it was just really disappointing guys. I really hope they can do better in the next episode, but this time I just really didn't like today's episode. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed my today's review like always, and see you guys in my next video. Bye!